Good afternoon, and I would like to welcome everybody to our What's Buzzin' at GT webinar series, which is hosted by the Parent and Family Programs Office here at Georgia Tech. My name is Tyler Barker. I serve as the coordinator within the Office of Parent and Family Programs. We are so happy to have you here with us today. And I would like to just say welcome to our presentation, which is directly geared towards paying your bill and paying your invoice for your GT student. And we are joined today by Gabrielle Lolley and also Larry Stokes to talk a little bit about more about paying your bill and understanding different financial things here at Georgia Tech. And so just give me 1 second and then we will begin our presentation.
Okay, great. So my name is Gabrielle Lolley, and I'm the Assistant Director of Student Accounts here at Georgia Tech. So I will just give you a really brief presentation about paying your bill here. I am in the Bursar's office. We can go on to the next slide. So I'm in the Bursar's office. We are actually located in Lyman Hall, which is right behind Tech Tower and beside the football stadium. Due to the limitations of the students that we can see in office, students and parents, we're actually only taking walk-ups between 10 and 2 o'clock, Monday through Friday. If you need to drop off a payment, there's a drop box at the top if you don't actually want to talk to someone. The best way to reach us right now is by email. We are limited with staff, so we cannot take as many phone calls. So it may take us a couple days to actually get to your email, but that's the best way to do it. And our email address can be found here on this presentation as well as on our website. So we believe that there are 3 keys to successfully navigating your time here at Georgia Tech when it comes to paying your bill. The first is to remember that we only correspond with the student via GT email. We do not correspond with the parents. So have your student please check their Georgia Tech email, and if there's something that we're saying, it's important, so make sure that they read that. All invoices are online. We do not mail any bills out to any students. So your invoices are in real time. So as your students register for classes, you will see the bill continually change. And then finally, always know the fee payment deadline. The deadline for fall is August 24th at 4 p.m. All right, so Georgia Tech actually operates on a flat rate tuition model, and basically what this means is that students are we encourage students to graduate in 4 years, obviously. So what this means is that at 6 or less hours, your student is actually charged one rate for tuition, and then at 7 or more hours, they are charged a higher rate for tuition. So this is for both in-state students and out-of-state students. The only thing that's the same across the board are the mandatory fees. And also, if you want to just get a gauge of what your total account looks like, I would advise you to visit the Office of Financial Aid's website because they have a cost of attendance that sort of puts everything out there. So if you were looking for your tuition and fees, visit our website and you'll be able to see what that cost would be for your student if they're 6 or less and then 7 or more. Sorry, guys, I want to catch up with the presentation here. Can we go a couple more slides up? And then one more. Okay, so once again, like I said, GT communication is with the student and not the parents. Therefore, we really encourage all students, if they have a third-party payer, or if they have parents that are paying their bills, that they actually give them access. So how your students do this is that they log into their student account, and then there's an authorized users tab at the top. And all they have to do is put your email address in, and then we will actually email you your own login information. And then you just log in through the Bursar website under the Parent Pay Now button, and you'll be able to go in, look at your student's account, make payments. That's where you'll see the 1098T at the end of the year. The only thing that you cannot do is look at your student's grades. Okay, next slide. So this is just basically what our website looks like. This is where you'll be able to see the calendar. We try to publish the deadlines at least a year in advance. This is where you can find tuition and fees. If you have questions about third-party billing, say if your student's getting paid by the GI Bill, if you're using the GI Bill. If you want to know how to set up refunds, this is where you find that information. And then under the quick links on the left-hand side of the screen, there's a student pay now button, which is where your student logs in. And then there's the parent pay now button that I mentioned before, which is actually where you would log in. Next slide. So once you're actually inside of the student account, this is what it looks like. So here's where you can, you know, if you need to print a statement for a 529 plan, or if you just want to make a payment, or if you need to be an authorized user, all of that is on this page. And you can also, once you log into the student account as well, you can find all the wire payment information. So if you actually need to send a wire, I would actually log into the student account. And once you get there, under the announcements on the left-hand side of the screen, you'll actually be able to find all the banking details. We can keep going. If you were to need a statement for your student, like I said before, I'm not sure if you guys can see the presentation, but once you actually log into your student account, there is a statements tab. It's actually right on the home page, and that is where you can get a snapshot of your student's account. So if you need a statement for your 529 plan or anyone else, you can get that statement. It's a snapshot as of a certain date, but it does have Georgia Tech letterhead on there. It has the bursar's office address. It has your student's personal information and their class schedule with all the charges and credits on their account. So if you need that, I would advise you to go in, log in with your student, look around a little bit, and just see if you can find that statement. If you can't, please feel free to contact us. So as far as payment options are concerned, I know some of you are probably trying to figure out what are the payment methods that we're taking right now. So we always take two payment methods online. The first one is the electronic web check. So electronic web check means that you just need your routing number and your account number. That is actually free of service. So you find that once you log into the account. The second online option is to pay by credit card. There is a 2.85% fee with every credit card payment, okay? So those are your two options online. The other thing that you'll find online is the GT payment plan. In the payment plan, we only have one payment plan at Georgia Tech. How that operates is that you can defer 50% of tuition and fees only into 2 installments, okay? So that means that your 50% of tuition and fees that's due by August 24th, which is the fee payment deadline, plus a $75 enrollment fee. You're going to pay that upfront with housing and your meal plan and parking and all of those things by the deadline. The other 50% of tuition and fees will be split into 2 installments, half due in September, half due in October. So if you just go into the system and sort of walk it through like you want to sign up, it'll give you all the dates, it'll give you what your down payment would be, and it will tell you what your installments would be. Also, I know a lot of you are probably going to pay by 529 plan, right? One thing to remember about 529 plans at Georgia Tech is that we do not invoice any 529 plan, okay? So that means that it is your responsibility to let your 529 plan know how much they need to pay. Or if they're requesting an invoice, that's when you go in and use that snapshot of a student account that we were talking about, that statement, right? But Georgia Tech does not actually do the invoicing for you. Some of them will say that we do, but we are not an institution that does. So you want to get with your student, you want to log in, go through that account and figure out, okay, what does my 529 plan need to pay and how do they pay? If you find that your 529 plan may not pay in time for the deadline, then go ahead and contact our office and let's see what's going on. Otherwise, you would want to go ahead and prepare to pay upfront, and then we will refund the student on the back end. If you don't want to do any of those options, like I said, you can always come to our office and use the drop box at the top of Lyman Hall. You can leave checks there and you can leave scholarship checks there if you want to pay by money order. We are not accepting cash at this time due to the pandemic. So if you do come with cash, we will turn you to a banking institution of some sort. Sorry guys, that's the whistle. We will send you, I'm going to let it finish. So we'll send you to a banking institution to go ahead and exchange those funds, okay? And then you can actually bring back a check to put into the Dropbox. Also, you can pay by wire transfer. Like I said before, when you log into your student account, all the banking details are on the left-hand side of the screen. So then you can actually use that, initiate the wire with the GTID number, and then we'll get it where it's supposed to go. All right, so next up, I want to talk about refunds. Refunds can happen for a variety of reasons. It could be a financial aid overpayment. Many of you might have seen we've already started refunds. We started yesterday. So we are doing those daily. It could be for a check payment. That could be a reason. It could be because of drop classes. The only thing I want you to remember, if you don't remember anything else, if your student is getting a refund, we need them to have direct deposit. It takes 2 seconds to sign up for direct deposit. So when you're inside that student account, click on the direct deposit button, leave your account number and your routing number that you want the refunds to go to for your student, and then every refund will go there moving forward. That is the preferred options. Checks take a long time, checks get lost, students forget to check their mailbox, so that is a great help for both us, you guys, and the students. The only other thing would be the refund policy. One thing I like to always tell parents is that if your student decides to drop a class within the add drop period, they are eligible for a refund, okay? If they decide to drop a class or withdraw from a class after add drop is over, they are ineligible for any refunds unless they completely withdraw from the institute. So during add drop, yes, you get a refund. After add drop, no refund unless you're completely withdrawn from the institute for the semester. And that's it for that one. So this is just what e-refunds look like when you go inside the student account. What I was telling you before, all you need is your name, GTID, I'm not your GTID number, you're already in there, your name, your bank, and your account and your routing number. Super fast. And then finally, to wrap up, I want to say this is my last slide coming up here. Yes. So just to wrap up, as far as the presentation part of this, if we are emailing your student, it is important. Please, please, please encourage them to check any emails from the bursar's office. Always, I would say, make sure that the balance is paid by the fee payment deadline. The fee payment deadline is August 24th. So if the balance isn't paid by August 24th, we do cancel classes, okay? But we will email your student first. So encourage them to check their emails, and thank you for listening.
Okay, we're going to pop over to Larry for him to just talk a little bit about financial aid, and then we will take some questions.
Hello, my name is Larry. I am the Customer Service Manager in the Office of Scholarships and Financial Aid. I will be very brief and just give a really quick overview of the financial aid process, and then, of course, if you have questions, we'll be happy to entertain those. I will say that a great lot of information can be found on our website, which is finaid.gatech.edu. And to sort of reiterate some things that Gabby has said, given the COVID pandemic, our office is open. We are doing regular business, but we are limiting in-person contact. And so really the only things that we are open for, and we are on the first floor of Tech Tower in part of the registrar's office every day from 11 to 2. And that is simply to take in documents that you cannot email to us. So things like scholarship checks, or if there's some other documents that may have sensitive information on them, we do take those. Otherwise, you can contact us by emailing us or entering our contact box on our website, and we will be in touch with you either by phone, by email, or we are as well setting up virtual screen-to-screen meetings, I would say. And also, as Gabby said, students, as soon as they enroll, are covered by FERPA, which is a Family Education Rights Privacy Act. And so, unlike the Bursar's office, we do not have any sort of waiver for that to provide any information for a student's account with a third party. So if you parents do have any questions or concerns, you can send those to us, but be aware that we will be limited in what we can discuss with you. Of course, if you have your student looped in on the conversation through email, or if they are in the room with you, or if you can conference them in on the phone, we are happy to discuss specific parts of their account, but otherwise we simply just can't do that with a third party alone. The big thing I think that we really stress in the Office of Scholarships and Financial Aid is the importance of deadlines. If there are any of you out there who are thinking about applying for financial aid, even for this upcoming year, you really want to do that as soon as possible. Continuing though, the very, very important date is January 31st, and that is our priority deadline for any institutional consideration. And when I say institutional, I mean institutional funding that is funded through Georgia Tech's endowment. So that would include Georgia Tech specific scholarships, grants, as well as low and no interest loans. While I am absolutely all about students advocating for themselves, given that that is such an important deadline, that is something that I really think parents should know, and that you should follow up with your students to be sure that they are getting the Georgia Tech aid application completed by then, and then as well, together, you and your student completing the FAFSA. If we do not get those applications in by January 31st, you will not be considered for any of that institutional funding. So that is a very, very important deadline. Once we do prepare those award notices, we do release those to the students. We welcome you all to contact us if you have questions. Generally speaking, a student's award notice can include any mix of federal aid, so need-based aid such as the subsidized loan and the Pell Grant, non-need-based aid such as the unsubsidized loan and the Parent Plus loan. It could include state aid for those Georgia residents, so that's Hope Rizzo Miller Scholarship, and then of course those institutional funds. We do also process outside or third-party loans, but we do not have preferred vendors, so if that is an avenue that you would like to take, we do recommend that parents and students sort of shop around. There are many, many different companies that do offer student loans, so you would just want to find the one that does provide the best rates and the best terms for you. See, I think I've about covered everything. Yeah, again, we are open. We are here if you have questions. We do our best to try to return phone calls. One thing I would stress is that if you do contact us, please choose one method or the other. Email tends to be the fastest way, but as I said, even if we are not actively taking phone calls, if you do leave us a message, we absolutely will get back in touch with you to answer any questions or concerns that you may have. And so with that, I will turn things back over to our moderator.
Tyler, Gabby was going to present those first few slides again. So can we put the PowerPoint back up? We had some people ask since they couldn't see it.
Sure. Second.
Oh, you guys let me know when to go.
Good.
Okay. So, and I'll go through this really, really quickly. Right now, the bursar's office is only open for walk-up well, not even appointments. If you're just happen to be on campus and you want to see us, you can come from 10 to 2, Monday through Friday. And we are right beside Tech Tower, right behind Tech Tower, and then right beside the stadium. So we're located in the same vicinity as financial aid. It's financial aid, the registrar's office, and the bursar's office, all in the same area. If you want to contact us, it's also better that you actually use email instead of phone, because we have limited staff in office. So if you can talk to us by email, that would be great. Okay, so also we just believe that there are 3 keys to successfully navigating your time in Georgia Tech. 3 things I want you to remember as a parent. We only email the student when it comes to payments needed on the account. If there's anything past due, or if there's a reminder about a deadline, we only email the students, not the parents. All invoices are online. We do not mail out any invoices to any students, so everything is updated in real time. That is for your benefit and ours. And then finally, the fee payment deadline is August 24th at 4:00 p.m. Another key thing to remember is about tuition. So we operate on a flat rate tuition model. I'm not sure if a lot of parents know this when they come, but for undergraduate students, so graduate students, they're hourly, right? But for undergraduate students, it's a flat rate model. So if your student has 6 or less hours, then it's one rate. If your student has 7 or more hours, then it's a higher rate. So if you're an in-state student, if you have an in-state student, then you'll see your rate right there on the left-hand side of the screen. If you're out of state, it's on the right-hand side. So you'll see the jump there from 6 to 7, okay? All the mandatory fees are the same regardless of residency. The only charges that are different are based on residency and at that 6 or 7 hour mark. If you want to look at your account, or if you want to just gauge what your account will look like in full, I would advise going to the Office of Financial Aid's cost of attendance website. And then outside of that, I think the last thing was basically just saying that we want parents to get authorized user access to their student's account. So your student, if you go on to the next slide, I'll go ahead and show that. Go 2 slides actually. This is what the student account looks like when your student logs in. So if you see right there on the right hand side of the screen under my profile setup, there's an authorized users tab. That is actually where your student will go in and put your email address or anyone who they want to have access to their account. That's where they'll actually put the email address in, and then we will email you your own login information so that you can set up your password and things like that to be able to go and look at your student's account. So this is the hub of everything. This is the student account. This is where you can make payments. This is where you can view account history. This is where you can update your payment methods. You can make deposits. And this is where you can sign up for the payment plan that we talked about before. And this is actually where you go if you're looking for a statement for your student's account to send to a third party or 529 plan. And on the left-hand side of the screen there under announcements is where if you're paying by wire or ACH, where you can actually find all the banking details. And then you'll have the deadline there too. So I think that is just about where we were. So I think that is good.
Yes, thank you so much, Gabby, for that. And also thank you, Larry, for your remarks as well. Now I will turn it over to the chat box, and looks like we have a question or two. The first question is, are the acceptance deposit and housing deposit qualified expenses for the 529 plan?
So those are treated as regular payments when they come into our office, so we post them as regular checks. As every 529 plan is different, I would advise you to talk to your 529 plan to see if they consider that qualified. But I do see that parents are sending payments to pay for these deposits through 529. So it's possible, you just have to see if that's allowed for your actual plan.
For that, Gabby. And now, parents, family members, if we have any other questions, we'll just take a few moments to give you put those in the chat box. Great colleagues here ready to assist you however they can. It appears that that's all the questions that the audience has. I would like to definitely thank Gabby and Larry for offering your time here today, and just touching on a few things about paying your bill and other financial information. So to the parents that are all, please stay tuned to our Facebook, to our website, where we will have the recording of the video. We'll also have future webinars to come. And so we're working on that schedule now. Our goal is to try to connect you to different offices on campus to try to give you more information and more resources about how you can be a parent, a good parent, and helpful to your student success here at Georgia Tech. And so definitely be on the lookout for that. And further ado, I hope you all have a great weekend, and thank you so much for joining us.